Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. I don't usually video with my iPhone, but I've got this tiger bark ficus. It's the only ficus that I have, although I'm about to get a willow leaf ficus, which I won, and we'll talk about that when it comes. But I brought this into the greenhouse because I noticed some spider mites on it, and there's a few webs, and it's in the house, so I wanted to be sure I got it clean. So I brought it out here and I sprayed it down with soap and water, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then gave it a thorough rinse. So while I was looking at it, trying to figure out what to do with it, I have a plan that I'd like to talk about and get into part of it at least. I want to start with this knuckle right here and this dead branch. I'm losing light here, so I don't know how much longer I can do this out here, but I'll leave it out in the greenhouse. I should be able to maintain temperatures in the 50s tonight. That should be okay. I want to take this piece right off. Like I say, I'm working at an angle that I don't usually work at. I think I need something else to nibble that with. I've been meaning to do this for a while. I think if this wound heals better, I might feel a little bit better about this tree. So there's some dead wood that I'm digging into. That's significantly pared down here. Possibly not enough, but that could be a function of me losing light. I was going to do a little bit more drastic work on this, like do a chop here, put this in a pot somewhere, hopefully it would take, or it would root. Yeah, that's a much better transition. There's another transition a little further up. I have to make sure you can see it. Yeah, right here. It's got a knuckle on it that I want to pare down. It's got it down a bit. And I'll get some cut paste on these. It amazes me that I can see something in the viewfinder because I'm I'm barely being able to see in the waning daylight. That's going to be it for today. That prettied that up a little bit. It's going to have to heal, and I'll help that along. There's another dead branch right here, which maybe I need to go handheld. I want to flatten this bump out. And I guess this one too. All right, I'll try and do it, and then I'll come back and show it to you. All right, as I mentioned, I am astounded that it's showing up with as much detail as it is. It is quite dark, but apparently I'm getting an image. So I'm putting on some rubber cement, some slime, it's called. Jury's out on it. And I say the jury's still out on it because, I mean, I've used some other preparations. This might be out of your view, but it's another little bulge that I took down. I used some other rubber cement type products that I didn't end up being happy with in the long run. They were not rubber cement. They were, rubber that gets a little harder when it's dry than rubber cement does. This happens to be very slimy stuff. I can't get the Titan brand that looks so cool that Nigel uses. This is the area that I carved down. All right, that's just step one with this tree. I've got to really look at the foliage on it. When I brought this out to the greenhouse this year, when the weather got nice, it almost looked dead. I thought I'd have to do something else with it, like scrap it. But it recovered nicely. I just don't like the branch structure. So we might be looking at some wiring and definitely some pruning back. Hello and welcome back. Well, welcome me back. It's a couple days after I did this operation on the tree, and I think I feel 100% better about this being a tree just the way it is, rather than performing a major cut on it, at least for now. And all the branches that are remaining on here, I've taken all the dead ones off, and the dead and the dying ones off, I guess. And I want to work with the foliage that I have here. May do some wiring, but I'm going to try and do as much with clip and grow as I can. All right, I want to zoom in on this area just so you can see it. So I took down a big lump here. There are a couple more that I might scrape away at some point. A large piece here, one here, and I took this down, made it look a little prettier, as did I do it right here. So this looks okay now to me. So in order to get started with the pruning, I think it would be wise to choose a front of this tree. This is the view where the tree comes toward you, but I think it comes towards you too much. If I go to the other view, the tree goes away from you, but I think I can manipulate these branches, or with clip and grow, try and encourage branching to come more forward. So I would accomplish the goal of balancing the tree with the vigor that's in this branch right here. So that's my plan with the pruning, with this as the front. This will all heal nicely. And it doesn't look great from this side either. So let's get started. So you're looking at the front thereabouts, somewhere right about here. So the first thing I want to do is decide what I want to do with the branch coming forward. I have two possibilities here that I think I can achieve with clip and grow. There's 1, 2, 3 leaves at the base of the third leaf. I hopefully have a downward facing bud. I said I don't know ficus very much, but I do know that there must be a bud in there somewhere, even if I can't see it. So I'm going to clip this one right to there, leaving as much as I can for dieback, hoping that this grows in this direction. So the trunk line is this back branch. So this one is actually not my apex. The branch above it and all of this up here. Well, first of all, this one grows to the inside of the tree, so I'm going to take that right off. Should use a flush cut it. That's gone. Out and down, I can achieve that I think, with a cut here. Yeah, because I've got this going down and this going down, and maybe if I'm lucky, the two of those are very close. Maybe I can get branching happening there. So leave a stub for dieback. I left the stub here, and you can see with the sap flowing that this is a very healthy tree. It didn't look that way this past spring when I brought it out of the house. I thought it was a goner. So now I want to know whether or not I need this top at all. If I can achieve what I'm looking for with these two branches, I don't need that top. So, with nerves of steel, I'm going to take that down. All right, and that's filling up with latex nicely too. All right, so then I've chosen my apical branch, which is this one, which I want only a little bit higher. This grows forward, and I don't want that. I just want this branch going up this way. So that comes off. This one's going toward the center of the tree. I don't know if I want to take that one off just yet, because in a certain view, that could be quite nice, as is this one, which is kind of a bar branch with that. So maybe that helped me decide. But either way, let's see what I'm doing with my apex. I think I want to cut it down to this leaf and either grow something straight up or slightly forward. So now I've got to look at these two, but I think I want to look at this one first. Here's a pruning stub I can remove. There's another lump I'll take down at some point, but it's a little, I want this all to thicken up a bit before I do that. And I have a downward facing bud there, and very healthy foliage beneath it. All right, that informs me here. I'm really changing the direction. Everything's growing kind of upward, and I'm changing it to be growing out and down, which is what I want ultimately for this tree. Here's a pruning stub. Let's see if I can pretty that up a little bit. As I said, these two are bar branches, and this one could fill this space. So I am going to take this one off. Already shortened it. I think I'm only going to take the tip off of this. Let that branch out in this direction. And maybe I'll go one below that. Yeah, that's better. All right, so this half of the tree is pruned up, and I'm changing my mind about this one. I'm allowed to do that, right? This branch. Well, it does divide. I've got this branch coming up way long and straight, but it does divide here. And I could let this branch fill this space, and maybe I'll get some taper. I'm going to take the whole top off of that, because this branch needs to come off, I think. It grows in toward the center, and while it's filling that space now, I think this is a better branch to do that job. So off it comes. In light of what I've done here, which I'm happy with, I think I have to do something different over here. And I'm just studying this. I think I want to take this branch to here, kind of get it out of the way, but still fill up that void. It may come out some other time. So before I deal with this, let me look at this back branch. I've got an outward facing leaf there and a lot of vigor above that and below. I'll take that to there. Got an outward facing leaf there. Same thing, a lot of vigor both above and below. We'll take that to there. There's an outward facing leaf here, so I'll take that to here. Close to the node above it, because I know there'll be some dieback. This is a big decision for me because I'm thinking this top one isn't doing the overall structure any good. Here I get some taper at least, and here this kind of blocks that out. No time to mold that over. Just going to take it off. This does become the apex of the tree unless I go way back to here, and I don't want to do that. Or do I? I can achieve that, I think, even better right here. And that does it for this tiger bark ficus from Costco. I've got the start of a structure here. I'm hoping these come out in this direction. Would also love to see some back budding down here, but I don't know if that'll happen. I don't even have a leaf scar till down here. Maybe something. All right, I'll come back, give you one more spin around, and we'll call it a day. All right, that's kind of the front you're looking at. You can see the side as it goes by. You can tell it's definitely not a front. I did a second coat, by the way, with the slime because it does seem to soak in quite far, and it almost looks like water would be absorbed. So I tried it, and it looked like the water was getting absorbed. So I put a second coat of that slime on there. Back to the front, somewhere there. All right, thank you for keeping me company in my backyard.